Hello, people of purpose. How have you been doing? How are you doing today? It's yet another time that I want to welcome you into this show. My name is Mercy Wanjeri, a clinical psychologist, a licensed and practicing therapist in this country, Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome to the show. I have planned a very good topic today. Allow me to introduce this topic to you, and this topic is very sensitive topic. It is a topic that has not been discussed of late. It is a taboo to discuss about this topic. And what the show today has decided to bring out to you. And the topic is sexuality, sexual harassment. I want to pause a little bit and ask yourself, have you experienced sexual harassment at the place of your work? Have you experienced sexual harassment at home? Have you experienced sexual harassment in a bus? Have you experienced sexual harassment anywhere in this life? That's who I'm looking out for. Or if you've not experienced, would you like to stick around, because we're going to look at what can be done. We want to be alert. We want to arm ourselves so that when it happens to us, we know how to go, where to report, how to behave. Welcome as we move on. So, what is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is any touch, any physical, anything that is depicting not to be normal. The abnormality of somebody who wants to do things provocatively towards you. Sexual harassment is a time when you discover that somebody is abusing you. And what are these forms of abuse of sexual harassment? The first one is physical. It could be somebody's hugging you, somebody's touching you, somebody's kissing you. That is sexual abuse. It could be at home. Maybe this is your step relatives. This is some people you're living with in a home. This is a work environment and somebody just comes and hugs you from behind. That is physical. There's also emotional abuse. You find that there's some people who would always talk about sexuality, sexual issues. These are people who send you nude photos. You see that? Nude photos on your phone. That is sexual harassment. And by the way, this is not in accordance to what you want, but they inflict, they put photos to you. Why? Because they are having some sexual advances towards you, and yet you think it is normal, whereas it is sexual harassment. Do you see that? There's also something else. These people could be having some sort of touching, sexual abuse. They want to touch your breasts. They want to touch your buttocks. They want to touch your penis. They want to touch your head. They want to do things that are not according to your will. Do you see that? Have you ever been caught up in an office somewhere and somebody just closes the door and they hug you all of a sudden? And let me put a disclaimer here. It's not only for women, even for men today. Even men are going through sexual harassment at work, at home, everywhere where there are both people, the man and the woman. I cannot forget children. Even children go through sexual harassment. And we're going to come to this. So what are these forms of sexual harassment? I want to give you some forms that will arm you, that will alert you, so that you are aware if somebody is taking advantage of you by harassing you sexually. Something like, I love you, nyash, you know that? I love you, ABCD, I love kusimama, ABCD, you know that kind of a language? And then you're like, things are normal, and all of a sudden you come to discover that that is sexual harassment. Somebody may be commenting and you're thinking it is okay. And let me bring this to your attention. It can be normal, which is good, and you say thank you. But if it escalates to a certain degree, and I want to say this, what is this degree that you've allowed people, to comment up to what? What is this degree that you've allowed people to touch? What is this degree that you've allowed people to go overboard? What you like? So that's what I'm talking about. And so Why? How would you know somebody has an ill motive about your sexuality? By the way they are commenting, by the way they are speaking, by the way they are treating you. And by the way, if somebody wants favors, and we're talking about, let's give an example. It is an increment, a salary increment. And this is a junior, and they want a salary increment from their boss. What do? They end up having or giving themselves sexually so that the boss can increase their pay. Let's look at it the other way around. Maybe it's a boss who wants this person. It's a senior person. And what will they do? They will cause this person distress. They'll give them a lot of work so that they come back to them. They manipulate them so that they can be paid through sex. Hello, are you hearing this? Another thing, maybe it is a child. It is a child you've been living with in your family, and you take advantage of them because they belong to the opposite gender and they are your relatives, but you do not respect them. You do not respect their rights, and you end up having sexual advances to you, and that's what we call incest. Can you see that? And I want today to arm you so that you can be able to tell, so that you can be able to know when somebody has surpassed your boundary. And so, allow me to talk about what measures can you put so that people do not take advantage of you at home, in the workplace, and in the marketplace. Number one, how do you carry yourself? Because again, sometimes you could be the target because of the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you take things. Are you having boundaries? Boundaries. Would you like to have boundaries at work? Would you like to become that person who is work and nothing else? That's what we're looking at. Would you like to speak up? Speak up even at home and say, yes, you're my relative, but this I will not accept. Those are the measures we are talking about. Maybe it's a married woman, wherever you are. Are you able to stand up and say, I do not like these photos you're sending me. I do not like the pornographic images that you keep on sending to me. Do you have that audacity? Let's say, let me give you a challenge. Do you have that audacity of getting back to somebody who is senior than you by telling them you do not want, or you're fearing for your job loss, or you're fearing to be kicked out of that home, or you're fearing that business deal, and so you sit there feeling depressed, you sit there feeling manipulated, you sit there feeling helpless. Why? Because you do not know what to do. Here are the good news. There is a place that you can go to. And here, I'm talking about two people. Nowadays, we're not talking about the man only harassing the woman. Today, even a woman is harassing a man. Even men today are harassed. This is across the board. And so, what are you going to do if you're in that state? So the first thing to do is to report. Where? If, for example, there is rape, would you like to keep those clothes? Would you like not to take a shower? Would you like to report these incidents to the police, to the authorities, to the hospitals that have that capability of dealing with those cases? And mind you, you need to have evidence. Yes, very important. Even if it's a family member, even if it is a worker colleague, your boss, even if it is a business, somebody there, your accomplice somewhere, please maintain the documentation, maintain what we call evidence. That is good. Something else I want to talk about. Maybe in your state where you are, you do not know where to go. If it is in the home, would you like to talk to somebody that you trust? It will help you a lot. Why? Because you are not dying in silence. You're not going into depression. You're not having anxiety. You will not shaking because you do not know where to go. So identify somebody to tell. Do not die in silence. Speak up Today, I come to tell you to speak up. Speak about these things. Do not let them sink under you, because one day they will erupt. One day they'll cause some mental distress in your mind. So, speak up. Talk to somebody you trust. Report it to the authorities. What else are you supposed to do? You're supposed to seek help. This is professional, psychological help. Let's say, for example, something happened to you and somebody sent nude photos to you. Somebody is coercing you to do something. How can you train yourself to say no when you mean it? Because there are some instances where people say no and they mean yes. So when is this time that you mean no and it's a no? And I would like to say this. Assume this is a workplace setup. I know there are wellness champions who are allocated in different places, different departments. They are trained so that when you report to them, they are able to maintain confidentiality, because I know that is a very big problem. So where are we in terms of confidentiality? When you are reported by your colleague, when you're reported by your child, when you're reported by another business partner, what are you going to do? Maintain confidentiality. Very important. Maintaining confidentiality. Why? Because it is not good for you to spill out these things to the public, these things to other people. Remember, what did we say in the beginning? This is a subject that is under the carpet all the time. It is kept somewhere and it causes people pain. This silence eats people. And I know wherever you are right now, you're already aware that there's a place you can be able to report. You're already aware that you can look for a trusted person you can talk to. You're already aware that you can run to the wellness champions. And I would like to give a challenge to employers today. If you have not set up a committee, maybe you have more than 20 people, it's a mandatory and a statutory mandate to have a sexual harassment policy in your organization. If you have not done that, it is a high time to do it. Assume it is a school whereby there are teachers and pupils. Would you like to bring awareness? Would you like to sensitize the people within that institution that there's something called sexual harassment and what somebody should do in case they find themselves in that state? What about that? Yes. And so, let's say it's a setup of a hospital, even the hospital. Let's say it's a setup of a company, a factory, and a corporate place. It is very important. And you know what? There's a question that has always been asked. Why is the sexual harassment so dire? Because people end up going to jail for many years, life imprisonment. You know, let's say it's an assault, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, and also a cash bill of amounts of money. Why? It is because sexual harassment is not really considered as harassment. It is something that it's a love affair. It's normal. I'm here to say it is not normal. It is not normal. It is a societal obligation to be aware that when somebody has undergone sexual harassment at home, in the house, with relatives, or in the office, with the bosses, or in the marketplace, with the business partners, that they should speak up. They should set boundaries. They should look for trusted people so that they are free. And after that, what happens? Therapy works. Remember, already you're traumatized. Already your mind is feeling ashamed. Already your mind is going up and down. Already you're feeling so bad. And what is battling within you needs to be sorted out. So what do I do? Here is the solution. Seek for help. When you come to a psychologist, when you go to a therapist, they are able to see what can we do to what you're feeling. For example, who are you? What does your values say about yourself? What can we do for you to continue working? What can we do? Do we need a transfer from that department to another one? Do we need to improve yourself? Personal growth? Do you need to set goals for other things? Do you need to shift from that home, from that environment, so that you avoid a repetition of the same? Let's say there is no justice, or let's say there is justice. Would you like to be at peace with yourself? That is therapy. And so that and much is what I had prepared for you. And I know I do not know what you have. Give me your comments. Tell me what you feel about sexual harassment. Tell me now if you're able to equip yourself so that you are aware of where to go. Do not keep quiet. Do not die in silence. Do not wait until it is too late. Report. Let the authorities know. Let somebody else know. Thank you and see you next time.